In today's video, we're doing all new home hacks you need to try this holiday season. The Home Depot is running their Final Days to Save event, and it's a great time to pick up any home decor or last minute gifts. And I will have all the ones I'm showing you in today's video linked for you down in the description box. And I want to thank the Home Depot for sponsoring this video. If you're like me and you like shopping online, the Home Depot will ship any gifts or home decor straight to your door. I just got in this new mirror from the Home Depot that I ordered. I'm excited to see what it looks like. This is cool. It's definitely a light wood. I love this scallop mirror. I also love the light wood. Okay, let's see how this looks on my entryway. I love it. I love the woods. Now, this cabinet I got at the Home Depot a while ago. If I can find the link for it, I will link it for you. But it's a great entryway cabinet. You can put shoes, different things like that in here. Now, a hack you can try to dress up your mirror is to add a wreath. Go with something colorful. This one has these beautiful red berries. And then you're also going to need a ribbon. So I'm going to take the ribbon and thread it through my wreath. And then using some packing tape, I'm gonna attach the ribbon to the back here, and I'm probably gonna have it sit kind of in the middle of my mirror. And don't worry about where the wreath is sitting, you can always turn that. Now see how my ribbon is showing in front of the pretty greenery? Take that ribbon and then just move your greenery to the side. That way it kind of pushes it to the back, and then you can showcase your greenery. Also, once I get it in place, I do like to go through and kind of fluff it out and make sure it looks nice. Pull off anything, like right here, there's a little tag that I forgot. This is an easy hack you could do with any mirror you have in your house right now. You just need a wreath and a little ribbon. The Home Depot has so many great gift options, and I'm gonna link to all of them down below for you in the description box. I'm gonna show you one gift option for anyone in your life who loves tea, coffee, hot chocolate. So I found this cute electric kettle. That's gonna be part of our gift. And then I also picked up this cat mug. We're gonna be putting this gift together for my mom. Now I wanted to add some hot cocoa mix to this gift. You could also do tea or really anything. I have two little treat bags, and I'm gonna fill one up with hot chocolate and the other with marshmallows. I'm gonna roll the bag down so I don't get anything on the outside of it. And then I'll just place the hot chocolate mix in the middle. Now I'll pull the sides back up, and then I'm going to twist it at the bottom and tie it with a bread tie. I'm gonna add about the same amount of marshmallows in this bag. I'll twist these up and add a bread tie as well. Let's make a little tag. So I have some gold paper here, and I'm going to just cut out a little circle. I'm gonna write Mom on there, and then I'm gonna hot glue it to these. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of green ribbon, maybe create a bow. Okay, so take your two sacks and you're going to put them together. If you want to take one of the bread ties and kind of wrap them together, you could do that. And then I have some green ribbon that I'm just going to tie around just to cover where I have those bread ties. So make a knot in the center like so. Then you're going to tie a bow. And then I'm just going to fluff the bow out, and I'll cut the pieces at an angle. I'm gonna hot glue the tag in the middle. Now I do feel like this is a little long, so I'm gonna trim it down. Let's put together this hot chocolate gift. Now you can use any basket you have. Probably when you use a basket, you're gonna need something to prop it up with, so I have another basket inside here. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of filler in. All right, I'm gonna come in with my electric kettle, and I'll set that down. And then this piece I'm gonna put in the back. Then I have this cute little mug I'm gonna place over here. Next, I'm gonna add in my hot chocolate. I think this is absolutely adorable. You could change this up and add in some coffee or tea or whatever you like. Let me show you a hack to create a wreath that smells amazing. You're gonna need two things. You're gonna need a wire and you're also going to need some star anise. So I'm gonna start by taking my wire and forming it into a circle. So I'm just gonna kind of mold it around, and then once I get to the top, I'm going to wrap the pieces around each other so they hold in place. I've never used these before and they smell amazing and they're just so adorable. So I'm gonna hot glue these onto my wire wreath. I wanna try to cover up the wire, so I'm gonna make sure that I overlap these as I put them on. So I have them all added. I wanna make them a little bit more secure, so I'm gonna flip it on the back and add a little bit more hot glue, and then I'll let that dry. I'm gonna add a little red velvet ribbon to hang it up. Let me show you a hack for turning tea towels into curtains. So you're gonna need three things. You're gonna need some tea towels. I went with these holiday ones and I love the cute little pattern on them. You're also going to need a tension rod that's going to fit in your window, and you just need some clips. So you want to cut off your tags just because whenever you hang this up, they're gonna show through, even this little hook right here. So I'm gonna do that on both tea towels. So your tea towel has a long side and a short side. We're gonna hang our clips on the short side. So I'm gonna start by putting one on each end. Now I'm gonna add about 4 rings to the top of here, trying to make them as equally spaced as possible. Okay, so it should look something like this. Now I'm gonna repeat these steps with the other tea towel. All right, before we add the tension rod to my window, I'm gonna string on the clips. Okay, so I have one on one side, and then I'll put the other one on the other side. So I'm gonna add this to the lower portion of my window, and I want it to come down to about the bottom of the window. Once the tea towels touch the bottom, I'm gonna place it about right there. It needs to come a little higher. Okay, try to make it about as even as possible. Then you're just going to tighten it. Okay, so now I'm going to fluff the curtains. These aren't gonna really block the light, they're more decorative. Let me know what you guys think of this hack. Let's put together the best adult gift baskets. I found these adorable containers on the Home Depot's website. They're perfect, so you could reuse these. These are great to put out in your living room. You can put blankets in them, or they're great for extra toys. But I thought, what if we got some household essential items that you may need and want to gift that would be perfect in an adult gift basket? Because this is a little large, I need some kind of filler. So I'm just gonna use a regular cardboard box, and that is going to help me with propping everything up. Now, the main thing I wanted to get were some nice sheets. I found these nice sheets on the Home Depot. They're by Brookside. They're a 600 thread count, so they're gonna be the main gift item that I put in here. I'm gonna start putting items in here, but with gift baskets, you kind of move things around as you see what works in certain areas. So I'm gonna put these in the center. I also found these cute little towels that I'm gonna put in the bag. These are just basic tea towels. I'm gonna wrap a little bit of ribbon around them. This is gonna bring some color to our gift basket, and I'll wrap it around the back, cut it off, and then I'm just gonna hot glue the ribbon in place. Okay, so I'm gonna place the towels in. Now, what else are we gonna put in here? Well, I wanted to get essentials that you may need. These are kind of boring things, but I would love getting them. Things like batteries, we have magic erasers, Dawn power wash, trash bags. Let's see if we can make them all fit. So one of the hardest things about gift baskets is everything kind of falls down. You can see this is starting to fall down. So what I like to do is save little things like pieces of cardboard, and these are gonna help me prop my items up. So I put some cardboard there, and that is going to, if I put the Dawn dish soap there, see how I can prop that up a little bit. So I'm gonna go around and kind of just raise everything up. And this is just packaging material that's come to my house that I've just saved. I think this looks pretty good, but it's not very festive. So I found these candy cane ornaments at the Home Depot. I'm gonna add one to the edge, and then I'm also just going to create an easy tag with red cardstock. I'm gonna cut it out and write the name on it. I'm gonna cut off the hanger on the ornament, and then I'll poke a little hole in the top. Then I'll use a little bit of twine to attach both the ornament and the tag to the side here. So just tie a double knot here. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is Christmas. The Home Depot has so many of these cool aluminum sheets, and when I saw this, I immediately thought I could make this into jewelry organization. So you're gonna need one aluminum sheet for this next project. I also got a piece of trim that's 1 1/8 inch, so it's really small, and this is what I'm gonna use as my border. So I cut these pieces down, so I have 4 pieces, and I'm gonna start by staining them. Now, I really like this natural look, so I'm just gonna use a natural stain. So to apply it, I'm gonna be using a foam brush, and I'll paint it on and wipe off any excess with a paper towel. All right, so now I'm just gonna wipe off the excess stain with a paper towel. Now that my stain is dry, I'm gonna place my pieces around the border, figuring out where I want to put them. Now to attach this border, because they are lightweight, I'm gonna add E6000 around the outside of the aluminum. I'm gonna place the wood border back on exactly where it was at, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a few hours. Now, if you feel like any of your wood boards are coming up, you can always clamp it in place to hold it until it's dry. This jewelry organizer is complete. It's perfect for adding on all of your earrings. Now you could gift this, or you could make it for yourself. Just add a few command strips on the back and place it on your wall. My kiddos have grown out of reading a lot of their children's books. I wanted a fun way that I could gift them to my niece, so I found these cute little picture book shelves off of the Home Depot. They're adorable. They stack on top of each other, and like one's smaller than the other, so you just hang them on the wall. So I thought, okay, how could I put this gift together? So I'm gonna start with the larger one and place it this way. I'm gonna leave this on because this is how you hang it. Then this is the smaller one, and I'm just going to place it on top like this. And then my idea is I'm gonna have the picture books standing upright, and then if there's any room in the back, I'm just gonna use some of this cardboard to help it kind of stand up. If you had more picture books, you could just really get them nice and snug. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this next step, but I'm gonna wrap it with some cellophane. This may not work, we'll see. But I'm thinking, my idea is that I'm going to place it around the outside edge, and then I'm gonna tie it off with a bow. I'm just gonna overlap it in the back and add Scotch tape. It's definitely not as cute in the back as it is in the front. Then I'm just going to pull it down, and then I'm going to just kind of wrap the cellophane, cut off any excess, and then I'll tape it in place. And I'm going to be covering down here with a ribbon, so it'll be fine. So I want to cover up right here. I also want to cover up the back. That doesn't look so good. So I have a big red ribbon. I'm gonna wrap it around and tie it in a bow. I'm just going to trim the ribbon. I think it's gonna be fun to add a little tag to this. So I'm going to cut a square from my white cardstock. And then I'm gonna add a name to the top. Let's make this tag sparkle a little bit. So I'm gonna add some glue on here in a fun pattern, and then we'll put on some glitter. I'll just use a little bit of tape to add on the tag. I think this looks so cute. I'm excited to gift it. Let me show you a hack on how you can make a really cute picture frame for all of your holiday prints. Now I have this print of me and my mom. I want to make a frame for it. So I have this wood square. You can find wood slices like this anywhere. You can get them at the Home Depot. This square is 4.5 inches on each side. So I'm going to cut my picture down so that it's 4 inches. Now luckily it's already 4 inches on this side, but I do need to cut it down here. So I'm going to do that so it fits perfectly on my square. So I made marks on both sides. Now I'm just going to connect those two lines, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now I'll just cut as straight as possible on those lines. Okay, let's see how it looks in my wood square. Is it even? Pretty good. Okay, let's work on our frame to go around our picture. Now I want to attempt to put a checkered pattern around here. I don't know if this is gonna work because I'm gonna be adding stain, but we're gonna try it all together and see if it works. So I'm gonna first start by measuring. Remember my square was 4.5 inches all the way around. I'm going to be adding on some painter's tape. I like using the green one. I feel like it does a little bit of a better job. So I'm gonna start by measuring in 3/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna place my painter's tape down on both sides. Now I'm just going to press that down really good because I'm going to be staining it, and then I'll just tuck the painter's tape around the back. Now that I have the pieces going this way, I want to put them going this other way. Now remember, I wanted to create a checkered pattern, so I'm going to come in about 1/4 of an inch and place down my painter's tape on the edge. And I'll do the same thing over here. Next, I'll place one more piece of painter's tape in the center. You're gonna push your painter's tape down really well, and then you're gonna wrap it around the back. So when you add your painter's tape on, it should look something like this. Our next step is to add our stain. Now, if you don't want to do stain, you could do paint, anything that you have. Now, stain can be a little bit runny, so I decided to go with a gel stain so that it doesn't run underneath my painter's tape. But when you're applying it, you don't want to apply a lot. We're going to apply a light coat of stain so it doesn't bleed through underneath the tape. The gel stain I'm using is the color Coffee, and using a foam brush, I'll just lightly dab. And then I'm going to brush it on ever so lightly to any area where we have the wood. I'm also going to add it to the outside. Again, don't worry about putting on a lot of stain. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but I do want to remove the tape before it dries, just so it doesn't have a chance to bleed through. Now we're gonna let this dry and come back to it. Now the funny part is the stain bled in the middle, but I think my picture is gonna cover it up, so we should be okay. Okay, so it had a chance to dry. For some reason in the middle, it bled a lot more. It looks pretty good around the edge. There's a little bit of stain here when I was taking the tape off, so I think I'm gonna try to sand that off, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna add my picture back. I'm just gonna put some glue dots in the edge and place it in the center. And then I'm just gonna add a little ribbon so that we can hang it up. Have you ever tried scent sickles? If you have an artificial tree, these are great because you can put these in your tree and they smell great. They smell like a real tree. This one is called White Winter Fir. So it smells really good. You can add several of these to your tree depending on how powerful you want the scent to be, and you have that natural smelling tree. I would love to know down in the comments if you've ever tried these. I know they come in other scents, so let me know what scent you like. Well, let me show you how you can DIY a decorative tree to put out in your home with just 2 items. You're gonna need some green pipe cleaners, and you're also going to need something that's in this shape. You're gonna start with your first pipe cleaner and you're gonna fold it in half. Then you're going to cut that. Take those 2 pipe cleaners, fold them in half again, and then cut again. So with 1 pipe cleaner, you're gonna have 4 pieces. So with your 4 pieces, you're gonna take one of the pieces and fold it in half again. And you're going to do this a million times. I don't know if I have enough, but I'm gonna start by adding these to my foam cone. So I'm gonna use hot glue and I'm going to put them around with them hanging off the bottom about halfway. All right, I got the bottom row done. I'm gonna go up about 1/2 inch and glue another row on. All right, I'm 3 rows down. I'm going to keep adding rows until I get to the top. So I think I have one more layer to do around the top, but I need to cover this. So I think what I'm gonna do is take this piece, I'm gonna wrap it in a spiral and hot glue it to the top. Then I'll add in an additional layer around this top portion. All right, now that it's completely covered, I'm going to take the wire and bend out the bottom. I'm also going to fluff out each of the layers, and not a lot, but I'm just gonna pull them up a little bit. I think this turned out great. Let's go style it. Do you guys remember the white shelf that I used to have here in my hallway? Well, I replaced it. I bought this Noble House bookcase and I think it's adorable. I love that it has storage down here so I can put the items that I had in that previous shelf down here, but I have all these nice shelves for styling. And I thought, let me show you some of my tips for styling shelves. I think the first thing to keep in mind is you don't want to overdo it. Sometimes when you put a lot on a shelf, it can seem like a lot. Also, you want to stick with a color palette. So I'm going to stick with very neutrals. I'm going to use golds, silvers, and maybe do a pop of red. I like to start with the item I want to showcase. I found these gorgeous stocking holders on the Home Depot's website. They're so beautiful. And I'm going to add these to my shelves. So I'm going to put one up here and then one over here. I love adding something simple like a bowl. Now to take it up a notch, you could add in some ornaments. I picked these up at the Home Depot and I'm probably gonna add in the golds and probably the reds. You gotta add in some pretty vases. Sticking with our color palette, I have a gold one and silver. I'm gonna add on a pretty decorative box. Again, this one is neutral, but a little bit of gold. Books are great on any shelf. Bonus points if you can find some green thrifted ones, especially this time of year. Now, a lot of times I like to elevate items on these, but I'm just gonna put mine here because I feel like it's the perfect spot. Now on our hooks, I'm gonna add some of our pretty DIYs that we created. This one, I'm just going to tie the red ribbon tight and cut off any excess. Our ornaments, I'm gonna place up here. You don't just have to hang ornaments on trees. Okay, so I have to pick the best side for the tree, the one I didn't mess up. I'm gonna add in this little silver dish, and then my final step is going to finish it off with a few pine cones, ornaments, and greenery pieces. You can shop my shelf and so much other furniture at the Home Depot's Final Days to Save. I'll put the link to it down in the description box. If you're looking for any of the products I showed you in today's video from the Home Depot, I will have them linked for you in the description box below. And make sure you subscribe because I want to see you back here, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.